Last week we challenged ourselves to do 100 pull-ups and 100 press-ups every day, which is, difficult I guess. But it hardly compares to the extreme brutality of struggling through 100 pull-ups combined with 100 bodyweight dips, the two staple movements of the calisthenics foundation. This week I will be completing this ultimate challenge with the goal of 1. Increasing my max reps on both pull-ups and dips, and of course 2. Making some gains. Will training like this be worthwhile? Let's find out. This is what my body looked like at the end of last week's challenge, and this last week allowed me to complete 1 extra rep on the pull-up, taking me to a personal best of 13. Not bad considering I started at 7 just a few weeks ago. Next up, I needed to test my maximum number of bodyweight dips, and as you can see, I was able to complete just about 12 of these. So with these starting stats, I was ready to get underway with the challenge. This one is going to be difficult. Day 1. Okay, for the rest of day 1 I went with the tried and tested system, which was sets of 5 every 2 minutes. I realised very early on that these dips were a lot more intense than the push-ups were last week, so after only 4 sets I had to increase the rest time to 3 minutes. My pull-up form stayed reasonably decent even towards the end when my body was fatiguing, which I was pretty happy with. I managed to get through the workout, but the tendons in my elbow were fried towards the finish. Maybe this challenge will be too much for my body to handle. I completed the day with a time of 1 hour, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and I burned a ton of calories. The most since I started doing these challenges actually. It's also safe to say that my biceps and triceps were toast. Day 2. Oh boy, I was really feeling the ache today, and I knew it was going to get worse. But as you all know, I'm built different bro, so I got on with it. The sun was out and I was grateful to have this home gym set up, so there's no room for moaning. I got on with the intention to do 20 sets of 5 reps again with no max tests, but it was a tough start. I didn't realise just how tight and sore my upper middle back was. I've been really focusing on keeping my shoulder blades back and down to secure my form, which is probably what's causing the pain. That tendon pain flared up right at the start too, so I had to push through it until I got used to it. But of course my body said nope, and the pain came back with vengeance about halfway through. The dips were really hard by the end because of this too. All that being said, I did manage to complete this one in 55 minutes and 26 seconds, plus 2 minutes and 30 seconds or so where I wasn't recording. I think we'll call it 58 minutes. Not bad, but this week is a real challenge. Will I even be able to finish? Day 3. My biggest hurdle with consistency before I started this channel was just about physically getting to the gym. Today I started my work at 7 AM, so I know I wouldn't have had it in me to drive to the gym if I'd had a session planned after work. But because my gym is at home, I don't have that problem. I highly recommend you starting out with a pull-up bar, dip bars and resistance bands if you're just getting started. Pull-ups and dips or press-ups are all you need to get going. Anyway, for day 3 my maximum pull-ups were just about 12 as somewhat expected, but interestingly enough my max dips shot up to 15, already 3 more than my starting point. I think I must be getting the technique down a bit because I'm able to engage my triceps and chest a bit more than I was at the start. I felt really strong throughout this one, which I really didn't see coming as I'd hardly eaten all day and I was exhausted. But I managed to finish the day in 55 minutes and 34 seconds. Again, I actually stopped recording a little bit late, so we'll call it about 55 minutes on the dot. I'm not very good at YouTube stuff. Day 4. On day 4 I tested the max reps again as I felt like I had some strength to do so. And it showed because I ended up grinding out 14 reps on the pull-ups without even realising. At the time I thought I had just done 13. I then achieved 15 reps on the dips again, but I don't think I waited long enough after doing the pull-ups. I should have rested a minute or two longer, but I was in a rush to get finished. Throughout this session the dips felt harder to perform than usual. Or they felt more awkward to hold the form I should say. My pull-ups were messy too because, as I said before, I was just looking to get this day over with. 20 sets of 5 later and I was finished. The time for the workout was 53 minutes and 58 seconds, our fastest time yet. I think we might be able to break 50 minutes by the end of the week. Let's see if we can. Day 5. There was no room for testing my max reps today. The only thing I cared about was reaching a new best time. I did a few sets of 10 to push through the start up to 30 reps and then back to the sets of 5 every 3 minutes after 30. I had managed to do 50 reps by the 20-minute mark, so I was feeling like I would definitely hit 100 in less than 50 minutes today. But then, our boiler decided to do this, which basically made me have to stop for a couple of hours while I figured it out. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. I did finish the remaining half of the workout later on, but with such a long rest in the middle, the time wouldn't have been accurate. Oh well, we can get our best time tomorrow instead. Sometimes life gets in the way, you can't plan for everything as unexpected things happen all the time. Day 6.
I've had too much caffeine. I've had too much caffeine. I've had too much caffeine.
I attempted my maxes again today, but I had to stop at just 10 reps on the pull-ups due to some stress I started feeling in my elbow again. I could only do 10 reps on the dips as well. I think I didn't stretch enough before this workout, and by that I mean I know I didn't stretch enough because I didn't stretch at all, and the difference was noticeable. I wanted to save 5 minutes, but in doing so I made the next 50 minutes more difficult and painful than they needed to be. It took me 20 reps just to find my form again, and I'm lucky I didn't injure myself. Always warm up before doing something like this. The last thing you want is to make mental and physical progress and then ruin it all with an injury that could have easily been avoided. I tried to do another set of 10 for each exercise, but decided to be sensible after the 20th reps and go back to the trusted 5 at a time. I got through the reps without too much difficulty, just the elbow pain, and I squeezed the last 2 sets together to get a new best time of 52 minutes and 59 seconds. Let's see if we can shave off those last 3 minutes tomorrow. Day 7. Finally, the last day of this extreme challenge. I'm working night shifts at the moment, so I'm finishing this up in a very tired state. But that's just coping and excuses, and you don't care about it. So let's get on with it. We revisited a very old acquaintance for this one. 2 reps every minute on the minute. Cool, isn't that nostalgic? I really wanted to beat my best time, and I also wanted to beat some of my best times from week 1 where I only did pull-ups. I grinded through this, really pushing myself to the max, knowing I'd have a nice day or 2 off after finishing. My form stayed reasonable, and I did warm up very well before this one. After grinding and pushing through, I managed to finish this day in 48 minutes and 22 seconds. Boom! I smashed my best time, and with that completed this week's challenge. What a way to finish. This was how I looked at the start of the week, and this is how I look now. Right, I'm not sure how, but I've managed to lose a bunch of footage for the end of this week and the start of next week's video, including the videos of my transformation and the maximum rep tests. All I've got here are pictures I've taken after day 7 session, fully pumped, which isn't exactly a fair judge on any gains I've made. It's annoying because I genuinely feel like I made the most significant gains this week, but it is what it is, man, these things happen. My pull-ups went from 13 to 14 this week, which you did see, but my dips shot up from 12 to 18, a 50% increase. Don't worry, in a few weeks I'm doing 100 weighted dips a day, so you'll see the proof then. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, like the video and leave a comment. It really helps out a lot. Thanks.